little pig, let me in.
Hello and welcome back to my channel. Make certain to hit the like and subscribe button and ring that notification bell to be among the first to receive updates on videos like this and many others. It is story time. Are you excited? Oh yes. Make certain that you are tucked inside, that you are cuddled up nice and safe, that there is, of course, only a howling wind and not a big bad wolf at the door. Or is there? Once upon a time, a long, long time ago, on a night very much like this one, there was a little girl that everyone loved. No one loved this little girl more than her grandmother. Her grandmother loved her so much that she made her a cloak of red, and because of this red cloak, everyone called the little girl Little Red Riding Hood. Also in this same village were 3 little pigs. Each of them set forth to go build their fortunes. One built a house of sticks, one built a house of hay, and another built a house of brick. And also residing in this same village was a little sheep herder, a little boy who delighted in pranking the villagers. And he would every night scream, "Wolf! Wolf! Big bad wolf!" And the villagers would come running, and there would be no wolf. That's because the big bad wolf, historically speaking, was not so big, so bad, but very much a wolf. If we look back at the founding of Rome, one of the greatest nations that existed in the ancient world, legend has it that there were 2 twins, Romulus and Remus, who were lost, abandoned, and cold in the wood. There was a decree sent out that these children must be found at any cost, and where they found these children is where they would build their new city. These children, Romulus and Remus, were indeed found in a cold, dark forest. It turns out that they had an encounter with a not-so-bad wolf, but a she-wolf, who treated these twins as her own cubs. She had suckled them and protected them and guided them, and made certain that no other creatures of the wood could devour the little innocents. To this day, you can see on many of Italy's buildings, you can see the mother dog with a depiction of Romulus and Remus. But that, my beautiful friends, is not the only point in history where the wolf was actually the good one. In Egyptian mythology, the god Set was the god of the dead. He later was replaced by Anubis, but he was the god who would stand in judgment over your heart, that if your heart was lighter than a feather, you could move on to the afterworld. If, however, your heart was not lighter than a feather, it was no small feat. You would just simply be devoured. Isn't that delightful? Oh yes, I think so. Also, you may have heard of the Sirius solar system, the Sirius star system. Sirius B is one in particular that is a symbol in the sky. It is known as the dog star, and many people across the world have named themselves after this dog star. The Dagons, or the Dogons, in Africa and in Europe, have named themselves after these beings that supposedly came from the Sirius B section. But how did the powerful, beautiful, strong wolf become known as big and bad? Well, that goes back to the urban sprawl. As humans began to go out and build villages and go a little bit deeper and deeper into the wood and take away the source of the wolf's food, the wolf had to eat. They had to. And wolves are fierce protectors. So, the people were afraid of the wolf. And they began to vilify the wolf. And unfortunately, it made its way into mass consciousness. Perhaps you've heard that a man's best friend is his dog. Well, this is pretty true too, because your pug, your Pekingese, your Chihuahua, they're all descendants from the wolf. And when mankind was living in caves and the world was dark and scary, we needed protectors. We needed someone to look after us, to walk with us, to tell us that it was okay. So these early men would feed these wild dogs, and the dogs became protectors. And in fact, in many parts of the world, especially the Native Americans, they revere the wolf. They listen to its howl, they listen to the sing, and they say, that is the spirit of my ancestor. That is the spirit of creation. That is the spirit of protection. And still to this day, you may notice how that a male alpha wolf will go into the attack and he will bristle up. And the female wolf, the she-wolf, will go beneath him, not as cowardice, no, not as cowardice, but instead as an act of protection. She puts her head right under the chin of that alpha wolf to protect him from the most vulnerable, sensitive space on his body. Instead of being afraid of the darkness, instead of being afraid of the howls, understand that these creatures, to this day, are strong, powerful, and beautiful. They deserve our respect. And now, here's a word from my friend the devil and Osmodeus.
Osmodeus, what do you call a wolf who's learned how to meditate? And a werewolf. Wolf! Hello, my friend. Serious. It's serious. Oh, this is so exciting. I love my friend Sirius. Back to you in the studio. I've got to go. Oh, fabulous.
Thank you so much, and thank you at home for watching. Make certain to check us out on the Patreon. We would love to have you. We have so many things we're offering. If you can find it in your heart, if you think this entertainment is great for you, we appreciate having you. Thank you so much. Until next time, as always, I've been your host, Richard-Lael Lillard, the Gentleman Psychic.
Like I surely do, like a little devil.